We'll go ahead and start this workshop. Mr. Hefner, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President, Mr. Broussard, Mr. Latchley. Good seeing y'all again. This is a start of our second workshop to discuss the boundaries, changing some of your election district boundaries to rebalance the population according to the 2020 census. The ideal population we're shooting for is 26,861. That's if everybody had exactly the same number of people in their district. You'd have zero deviation from that if it was 26,861. It's almost impossible to get to that, so we try to keep it within about a plus or minus 5%. We have a little bit of variation we can work with, but we generally try to keep it 5 or 6% deviation. In our last workshop, we started with my illustrative plan 1, which was just a kind of a starting plan. Had some really good discussions at the last workshop, made some modifications to that plan, but at the time that we left, we still had District 7 that was out of balance and a couple other issues to deal with. So I told the board at that time I would go ahead and try to finish that plan up, and that's what we'd start with at the next meeting. I was able to do that. I was not real happy with the way it was looking. I didn't particularly care for the, particularly District 8, District 9, the way they were strung out, particularly 8, basically going from almost the center of Lafayette all the way to the south end of the parish on the east side of the Vermilion River, all the way into Precinct 103. So what I want to try to do is tighten that up and try to get the districts to represent a little bit closer our general high school feeder zones to the extent that we can. And before I finalized that plan, I went ahead and spent some additional time over this past weekend seeing if I could come up with something better, which is what you see here. This is what I'm calling Plan 1A. I'm much happier with this plan configuration for a couple of reasons. One is that District 8 is now a bit more compact. Actually, it's looking a lot like it did back after the 2000 census redistricting process. District 9 now is nice and compact, and it covers basically the south side area. 7, I was able to get more compact and representing essentially the Broussard area. 8 is still coming around River Ranch, coming around Middlebrook, down toward Milton, kind of a lot of the Como area. 6 is still the core area around the south center part of Lafayette, around the Cajun Dome and those subdivisions around there. Uses Ambassador Caffrey as a dividing line. 5 is still covering now the southwest part of the parish, which is part of the Acadiana zone, but it also picks up on the east side of Johnson Street, which is this area here, precincts 85, 67, 125, and 86. Those are a mix between Como and Lafayette High zone, but the majority of it is in Acadiana. The line between Districts 1 and 5 now is West Congress, following these precinct boundaries right here. Nice clean line. The other thing that I liked is that I was able to balance out the minority population and the deviations between Districts 3 and 4. Those are our two traditional majority minority districts. Trying to tighten them up a little bit, but balancing them out so they're essentially equal in minority representation, and this configuration was able to do that while maintaining a reasonable deviation in the overall population. So District 3 is at 60%, and District 4 is at 61%, whereas before it was like 57, 63, something like that from what I recall. District 1 still covering the area to the northwest part of the parish. District 2 still up on the north end, and that's kind of an overview of where we are with this Plan 1A. Deviations are within acceptable ranges. The precinct splits are within our allowable no more than 3 per district. So we're in really good shape with regards to that. So the configuration as you stand here would meet all the criteria on the state and federal level, but If there are some things that you would want to see changed or explored, that's what we're here for today. If you need me to put roads up, as y'all recall, it's real easy for me just to click on the streets, and then we can kind of come in and take a look at them. I'm going to put those labels a little bit bigger so we can see them a little easier. But anytime you're looking at maps in this detail, sometimes it does get a little tight to do that. So that is where we are right now. If you will give me just 1 second, I am going to set this up so that we can make some changes to this plan and without me losing my other one. That way, if we have to come back to it at a later point, we can do that. I meant to do that a little earlier and got sidetracked. All right. All right, we are good to go. Justin, we're just going through the recap. This plan here is 1A. It's based off of what we discussed at the last workshop. But if you recall, we had some numbers that were some districts that still were out of balance.
And I reviewed the maps that were on the agenda earlier. Those appeared to be the maps that were on the same maps are on the prior agenda?
This one is not.
This one is not, yeah. But this is different than what was on the agenda itself? Okay.
Yeah. When Amanda called me, I was just working up basically where we left off last time and told her that at that time I didn't have any changes. Over the weekend, though, it's just like I need to give another shot at it. And I had some time to do that, some good quiet time. And this is what I came up with. I have a larger map over on the table there. So this is a little bit different. You'll see some changes in your district. 7, 8, kind of tuned up. Almost every district was affected a little bit to some degree. From IP1, from the initial one, or from what your current districts are as they stand now with no changes? All right, give me 1 second and I'll put IP1 up. That's what it was, okay. Well, I'm going to put it on there anyway. Somebody else may have a question. The good thing is I've got the data, so let's see how these show up. Okay, the red lines is what I started with on the IP one. So this is where we made a change right here. I swapped this precinct out, precinct 52. I looked at several precinct changes along y'all border. Between 3 and 4, and 52 balanced y'all out almost exactly. And I'll zoom in so you can see. This is Moss Street, and this is Simcoe, and this looks like along the railroad, Garfield. Yeah. And this is Gilman. So this is the precinct right here. Yeah, Gilman right here is the boundary. Let's see where your existing boundary is now. Yeah, see, this was part of 3, actually. This black line is the your current boundary. Just kind of ignore the colors. But the black line is your current boundaries. Where you see the colors change from that black line is where we made changes from your current districts as they are today, not with any proposed plan. This precinct was actually in District 3 now, as it is right now. So it wasn't in years before, but it would keep it in District 3. Correct. Yes. My original plan, IP1, had that precinct 52 in your district. What I did is I put it back in 3, and it with some of the other little changes that we made, it made it balanced the numbers. Sometimes you find the right combination when you add it long enough. And Justin, you can see 49 was moved around. That helped Timmy's district, pulling that out, putting in yours. That's what got him into the closer to that 60 percentile as well. So that that put that subdivision back into 6, which actually I think is a little bit more appropriate. But thankfully the numbers worked out really well on that. And then some of the other changes that we made from where we left off, this is where we kind of cleaned this area up. I've now got, see, we had 8 coming all the way up into this area here, and 9 was kind of zigzagging in and out. I was able to tighten this up with 7 and 9, and then make 9 a little more compact and take out some of these little ins and outs that we had, and balance it out here at Roy Guidry and Seymour Road with regards to District 8. I would love to have put all of 106 in 9, but the numbers weren't working, so we split that precinct. Then we balanced out up here. This is Bark Hill and Ambassador Caffrey, splitting precinct 126. Part of it staying in 7, the rest of it staying in 8. So that helped get it closer, and then this is what we had discussed last time, so I kept all those changes in there with 6, between 6 and... No, actually we have a couple of split precincts elsewhere. We have one with 6. In fact, let me take the roads off, and I can identify them for you pretty quick.
This is the one you're talking about that's on the table?
Yes. That's the one I worked up over the weekend. And I'm sorry, but it looks like my plotter cut it off. But I did send Amanda the PDF, so you can pull those up on your computer screen. So Latchley, while they're looking at the map, you got anything you want to look at on yours closer?
The 3 precincts I pick up, what, 67, 85, and 125?
67, 125, and 85, correct.
They, where do they vote at?
I'll put the streets up for you. I'm not sure of the polling locations. I don't have that on here. But probably Edgar Martin, if I had to guess.
Well, you got 86 is what, the fire station. I don't know if any of those.
Yeah, this one's probably the fire station. 85, that's Acadiana Mall. That probably votes at Edgar Martin.
Right.
But I don't have the polling locations for the parish on here.
No,
But I could probably have that by the next time we get together. I'll get that from the registrar.
considering the jagged lines, you know, that I lost, the ins and outs here and there, in my opinion, this makes District 5 a little more tighter.
Yeah, it makes good use of the river.
Yes.
The whole plan actually makes good use of the Vermilion River. That's been a really good boundary. We had our plan in 2000 used the river for a lot of it, and it really made for a clean plan. And then in 2010, the numbers just didn't work. But now we're kind of getting back towards some of that. So I was pleased to be able to kind of get back to that as a major boundary, because it's real easy for people to understand.
Right. Well, I mean, mine, you got the river, you've got Vermilion Parish line, you got the Acadia Parish line, you got Congress Street to Ambassador Caffrey and Johnston. I mean, it's
Easy to describe.
yep.
Acadia Parish line, Congress to Ambassador, Ambassador to the Vermilion River to the Vermilion line. That's it.
4 lines.
Boundaries. 106?
I've been following with a lot of, I'll say it on the microphone so everybody. Yeah, I've been following with interest what's going on with East Baton Rouge Parish and how the splitting of the precincts kind of put a fly in the ointment with their plan. So I was just curious what you considered other than splitting 106 to balance out 8 and 9.
Okay.
Because 106 is split as I was looking at the map. That's correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
So is 101. Yeah, yeah, that whole Baton Rouge thing is more political than it is anything.
I get that too.
Yeah, there is no way to create a plan over here using whole precincts. That's always the first thing I look at. Theirs is rather novel that you have to change your membership to fit a plan configuration that doesn't split precincts. And that kind of violates like 3 or 4 other statutes. But hey, judges being what they are, I'm not a judge, so anyway, we'll let that lie.
So what were the other options besides splitting 106?
Well, 106, actually, the red lines are what we had before. So what it did was it put, instead of 106 being split, it had 109 and 108 in District 8. But it split 109 right here where Dr. Aguilar lives to keep him in. Now, that was actually splitting a subdivision. I didn't like that. I don't like splitting subdivisions to any degree that I can. The problem that we run into, though, is that the census blocks don't always work for us. That's one census block, as you recall. That was another one. And some of these are pretty awkward, so they don't really fit very well to do it. So what I did is I tried to build out between 7 and 9 to get those two kind of compact and try to pull 8 out of that area as much as I could, get it closer to Milton, closer to the Como feeder zone. Ideally, I would love to have had all of 106 in there, but it puts too many people in 9. I'll show you what the numbers look like, since you're a numbers guy. I'm going to show, you see you had, all right, I'll go ahead and put this a little bit bolder so they're a little easier to read. That area in red has 2,533 people. If I assign that to 9, that put 9's deviation at a 15.37. 8 could have handled it, not a problem with 8. The problem is that 9 can't handle it without giving up somewhere else. Then the question became, where is it going to give? The only other place it can really give is 7. And 7, we're already dealing with high population. So if I gave it to 7, I brought 7 in to pick up some of it. That's put 7 too high, which means that 7 is going to end up having to come into 8 further up into here or up on the north end, which we can certainly take a look at doing that if you want to see how it goes. But that was the main reason why I ended up splitting it here off of near Roy Guidry Road.
So the decision we have is if we don't want to split the neighborhood in 109, then we either have to keep 106 in 8 or have 7 take some of 8 on the northern end of the district. Which is okay. So 2,500. How many are in that split part of 109 that wasn't in District 9 originally? And that's all or is that another precinct to the east of 109 or no?
This is 118 right here.
So we split 118 as well with the new plan?
No, we split 110 right here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so 109 goes all the way over to.
Bonan Road.
Okay, all right. Oh, it's 108. That's what I was asking. Okay, I was asking if 108 was.
Yeah, this is 108 total.
Okay.
108 goes all the way to Bonan. Verock School Road is the boundary here for 109.
Okay.
Back then, the area that we were looking at splitting was picking up all this area up here. That has 1,737 people.
So 800 fewer than 106.
Correct.
Split part of 109. How much does 108 have?
108 total?
Yeah. I can go say it on the microphone if it helps us, and say I'm not interested in introducing any more splits.
Yeah. 108 has 3,289 people in it. Now, let's take a look at 110 real quick here, that's why we have it split. Say it's 110, it's actually not 110, it's 101. This is 101 right here. 101's got 3,932 people in it. So it was too much to go into one versus the other.
What you tell me is the parish council needs to create some new precincts.
Well, I'm not sure what they're gonna do with their plan. Be honest with you, I'm not even sure where they are with their plan. Inevitably, they probably will be creating some precincts with their plan. I just don't know where. Remember, they're dividing the parish up now by 5.
Right.
You're dividing it up by 9. So these precincts are actually optimized for 9 because that's what they've been using since 2000. Actually, since 1990.
Did you put 110, the numbers for 110 on the screen, or just 101?
It was actually, the one that split is a 101.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't 110.
Okay. Okay.
Make those boundaries a little bit more where I can see them. There we go. A little darker.
So that's the third option there is if we kept if we took 106 back out of 8, then 7 can either take from 8 or take from 9.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we can take a look at that, see if we can find a combination that works.
And I'll tell you my concern. My concern is, and I'll tell you, it's the same concern I have with precinct 49. You know, the people in 106, I think, need to be represented by the South Side representative,
I agree with that.
and maybe not somebody that lives in the city of Lafayette. So that's my ultimate concern there.
Well, let's see what we can do.
You're talking about giving 106 back to 9 and then taking 109, giving it to 7?
Well, talk about put 106 back in 9,
Yeah,
and then figure out where to go from there.
okay.
All right, so now
So
we got,
it's like you taking from either 9 or 8, one of the two.
so now we put 106 back in, so it's whole. So 9 has a 15% deviation, so we got to find about 10% to shed somewhere. 7 is already at +5. So let's go ahead, maybe, I don't know, what precinct do you think would be best to take?
From 7 to 8.
From 9 to 7.
9
7
to
7 to 9.
So so going this route, it would be 9 to 7, and then 7 given to 8.
8, yeah.
Yes.
All right. So
Or 8 coming, actually 8 coming and pick from 7. Because
Right.
7's going to go too high.
Right.
I'm taking portions of Youngsville and Broussard, basically giving the Lafayette. Right?
you're almost certainly you're going to be taking one of those ones along the border.
Right.
So 108, 118, 111, 102, 101. That's all.
Yeah. And then she's figured out pieces.
Is precinct 109 zone for Como or South Side?
That's probably south side.
Probably Southside.
Is it South Side?
Well, we don't have to guess. Let me see if I can get to. think I have
I'm
all
almost
that.
100% that's south side.
Okay. I thought it was like Vincent Road.
Yeah, it is, and it's, what do you call it? Boulder Creek? It's like Boulder Creek area. Which 7 has never crossed Ambassador. And so what we basically, even like that pattern.
Across to the south.
So, you're looking at 101, 102, right, coming into,
I think that's. Yeah, so it's got to be one. It's got to be one of these.
so I would have to come down, and she would take, and then 9 would go up, and then, and I might lose someone's mind, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, she'd take Lafayette, I would take Youngsville.
105 is in the south side, 117 is actually in Como.
Okay. 109's in Southside?
105 is in Southside, 106 is in Southside, but 109 and 117 are actually in Como.
Oh.
Oh, well then move those to 7. What about 108, that's outside?
Yeah, the blue line that's up on the screen, 108 is in Southside.
I mean, I think it would make sense to move 117 and 109 to 7. And then give up 92 to 8.
Does that break our contiguous? Because I mean, I know we have to keep the northern part of 109.
Well, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. If we put 109 and 7, that puts Don in District 7 instead
Well,
of District 9.
Well, right, but that's why we were splitting 109. Yeah.
Yes.
To start with, right? So,
Yes.
is it possible to split 109 and keep Dr. Aguilar in his district?
Yeah, that's what we actually have with IP1.
No, but then, the second part of my question was then put the split part of 109 in 7 instead of.
Oh, yeah, no, I think we'll have,
This
well,
is
no, it
the front
depends.
part of it, look, see? Look
It
at it.
depends. Let's take a look at it.
He's gonna.
Let's take a look at it. Let's see how the census block works for us. All right, so let's see if we can find a way that's going to start at 7, which is enough light color. All right.
But then I can't take Tacoma.
All right, that's Mill Creek.
No, because you can't get all
Yeah,
this.
so now we're breaking.
Yeah, it's, you see, as soon as I get right here, that census block, this census block right here is kind of, you see how it's just really swirling?
Mm-hmm.
It just, to me, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to just split it at Mill Creek. South side of Mill Creek's in one district, and then rest of it's in another election district. And even then, that's a little weird looking, because it's some oddball census blocks. This is probably about the closest you could get to not minimizing it, but still, it's, I mean, see how it comes up in here off of bird watch and all that, it just really cuts that area up a lot. I mean, I can round that up, pick that up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think at first I'll give up all
That's
the others.
probably about as even as you're gonna be able to get from a geographic standpoint.
How about 101 on the other side of the,
Yeah.
on the other side? So it's like along Highway 90.
Making that 7.
Okay, you wanna keep this or take this out?
No, take that, like keep 109 completely in District 9.
Got it.
Like that's a demonstration that we can't split 109 and,
It's just weird looking.
right,
All right, which one do you wanna look at?
101, move that into District 7. Go down, it's to the south along Highway 90. It's like La Triomphe and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Like they all go to Broussard Middle,
I would say
right?
that you can pick up a majority of population from there. Yeah, no, Broussard Middle.
That's kind of where I was looking at trying to go. This is where the precinct boundary is, right here.
So on the other side of that, they go to Greenteeth. I mean, they go to
South side.
Youngsville Middle.
Yeah, they would be tied in with the south side feeder.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So 110 and 101 are Como.
110 and what?
101 are Como.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
This blue line here, this is the Como area right
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
All right, so now we got, all right, so we got 106 all in 9. 9's balanced. We picked up that, this precinct 101, put that at 7. That's what puts 7 high. So now we have to spin some off of 7. So the only ones that border 7 is either 4, which I really don't want to do because of our minority numbers. And so that leaves 8 or 6. Now we have a split right here.
how, the 1.17% on 6, that is over the ideal number?
Yeah, it's
1.17%
well
over?
within the 5%.
Okay, okay.
Well within that. If we're at 5 or 6%, there's not going to be an issue.
What's the number?
We can see what happens if we finish the rest of this with 8, eliminate that split. That's what that precinct does. 7 is still high with that.
Yeah, exactly. It starts at like the, farm markets.
If we put all of 92 in 8, that's 8 can handle it. 7 is still a little on the high side at a plus 9, 9.7. If we did that, that's this whole precinct right here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of population in 92.
What's in there?
I don't know if you want to keep that in or take that out, but that would eliminate a split. Otherwise, 8, you probably have to come and pick up an additional
St. Michael's
precinct.
Code? Yeah, St. Michael's Code. That's like right behind, I live right here. Be right behind me.
Put 92 and 93 and 8.
92 and 93 and 8. Let's see, 8 is high at 13,
Okay, so
7 is balanced.
so put 92 back in 7.
All right, put
Just
92 back
93,
in
just
7.
93 and 8.
We're going to have a contiguous issue.
Oh, that's not even contiguous now.
Right,
Yeah, we
No,
can't do that.
Can't do that.
and it didn't balance us.
Hey, y'all ever wanted to play games like this with y'all kids? No.
It's like a risk.
We went outside.
I'm just asking questions. Oh, look at you.
No, it can't.
All right, so as of right now,
You need to give me one.
well, what, I was gonna say, what changes are active on this map right
What we have done is we put 106
now? Okay.
all in 9. We put 101 in 7, that balanced out 9. Now we're dealing with 7. We put 92, 93 in District 8, which helped 7, because now it's at 1.35. At 8 now is too heavy at 13%. I was just taking a look at what 126 might do going back into 7. And that would bring 7 to a plus 8 and 8 to a plus 6. Makes for a cleaner line, what it would look like.
So at that point, and Mark, all right. So at this point, if 8 gave 6 a little bit, we'd be fine?
Yeah, we just gotta find something to do with 7.
Oh, 7 has to come down a little bit more.
Uh-huh. Now, I took 126 out. We can keep that in 6. That balance is 7. That just means we have 8 to deal with.
So that means roughly 2,500 residents have to come out of 8?
What's in 100?
Yeah.
What's the population?
No, I'm sorry, like only 1,200, right? Because we just gotta get it down to 5%?
5%.
Okay.
So what's in 100? 100?
100?
Because that would be contiguous to 8, right?
The swamp.
I'm just trying to see what the population change would be. Is
8's got 1,838 people.
Does that balance me and give 8 the right proportion?
Well, you're too high right now. With this configuration right here, you're too high.
So I'm saying, if I give up 100 and give it to 8,
No, with this configuration, she's okay. 8's high, right?
8's high.
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, you thought it was 8.
You're only 1% over. with
Okay,
this
I'm good.
configuration.
That's what I thought.
You're fine
But
right
when you said
now.
I was high, I thought,
No.
okay.
You were high before we moved 92
Can
and
I give
93.
up, what's in 100? That's what I'm asking.
100
That's like
has
Garber Road, right?
1,800 people in it.
Can I keep 93 and give up 100 to 8?
Well, let's see what that is.
I know,
Yeah,
so
but
we can rebalance 8.
we're gonna come on the
somewhere else.
backside of that and
Yeah.
shift something north out of 8.
All right, your 8 is at 12% high, 7 is balanced at 2.9.
Okay, so I like that,
What
because
is,
that's really my neighborhood.
that's fine.
Yeah.
What does 7% of the ideal number, what is that?
Ideal number is 2,600, or 2,700. We're talking about 1,000 people, a little over 1,000.
So 10% of 2,600. Okay. And we got to remove 1,300 people from it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's a cockeyed looking eight boy.
Yeah. Cool. Ain't that the truth?
And if I take the whole precinct 126, make a nice line.
You got Woodville, El
it balances
Dorado,
8, and that's
Plantation,
about
Como. Oh God, they'll destroy it.
You want 105?
Nope. I'm perfect right where I am.
Lovely. Are you gonna put 117 and 9?
I was checking to see what the numbers did.
Huh?
It puts 9 at a plus
Yeah,
9.
a year ago.
Balance is 8, but it puts 9 at a plus 9.
You look good.
Oh, yeah, I apologize.
It's kind of back to where we were before.
What sexy back this fast?
Oh, wow. My husband started playing tennis.
All right, 120 going into 5 with balance 8
No,
out.
I don't think he's that.
What's in 120?
I was like, nah, this makes me like gross. Later she figured it out, but at the time she was like, I really don't think he's cute. I was like, I don't think I got scared.
That's across the river?
But that's the river right here.
14, 16 months ago, I went 225.
This is Ambassador Chapter right here. That balance is 8 out, but it puts 5 a little high.
I didn't think he did.
I got you.
Last picture I saw of him, I was like,
You can see me with a majority.
Problem is, these precincts are too big.
I can't take from one,
he's a handful.
well, one can come
They
and
could
pick
go
up
nice.
some, but, it's got a little bit of room.
Yeah, they doing some words in that. It was a wedding.
Yeah, they look pretty. She looked
But it literally would have to be back over here by the prairie.
Cowboy boots. Shoes on the more. I think I like your shoes. Go with that suit, I think. You'll be 28 this month.
crazy, huh?
They close from August 29th, turns 28, August 30th.
All right, you can put it all back.
Put it all back.
I just wanted to see.
Hey, it's easy for me to put it back. But now you see why I split 106. Right? That was your original question, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Why did I split 106? That's why I split 106.
I'm good, stop.
Where's the rest of the females? I ate 2 boxes of dots. I just came so I could model the Lafayette Parish raincoat.
That you can't wear to school?
Don't even start. I can't even, y'all.
You can't wear that to school?
Cannot even.
All right. Elroy, you have any questions on yours?
No, I'm good. You brought me up to 60%.
All right, we're gonna lock you in then.
Yes.
All right.
I'm not speaking for Dr. Shasta, but he's at 61, so he's all right there.
Yeah, I kind of like the way his district felt.
I was hoping I would get some of the, just east of I-10 by the state police office. Since I gave Justin go for it, and I was hoping I would get there.
Let's see. They're off of Ponte all right?
Yeah, yes.
They're right here, I believe. This is 49, and this is Ponte Muto.
Yes.
This is, I think, where their state police station is. That's in District 4.
In Nova Scotia, this, I had some on Moss Street before. I had up to Moss Street, but now the boundary is only goes to Evangeline through. And before I was crossing Evangeline. but I'm further north. I was at Goodson Switch before, now I'm at Gloria Switch.
Yes. Yeah, I put precinct 11 in your district because you need some population here. And that one was the one that worked the best as far as the deviation and the percentages.
So what happens if you put that area in 3? How much would it take away from 4?
Let's take a look. That precinct has 2,800 people. District 3 would have a deviation of 4.59 and a 59% black population. You would have a minus 13 with a 62% minority population, so you'd have to pick up some somewhere. If we added it to it, that's what it would look like. So you're in yellow.
Pretty green.
I'm sorry, you're in green. It's Timmy district. My apologies.
Area just south, just at the intersection. What that's at that portion, the intersection of Badger Thruway and what?
And where?
What I said, yes. I was looking at a different line. All right. So they would put Dr. Church on it just at that.
So we'd have to find a place to swap off between the two, so 4 is low, 4 would have to pick up some. Let's see what this precinct does. This right. That balances out deviation, that balances out minority population. We assign that to it. That's precinct 68, south of Simcoe. Take it around over East Main, make a little dogleg right there. Comes up St. John, Versailles, the university. This is the university right here.
That's what I had.
Let's see. Yep, that is correct.
What does that do for 4?
Actually, it balances out. Y'all both at a minus 4.5%, 4% deviation, which is good, and y'all both at 60%. District 3 is at 60.3, and District 4 is at 60.7. So that works as well as the one that I walked in the door with.
Dr. Church goes further east and further north.
If I take the streets off, put your existing districts on, this is where your existing district was. This adds this precinct 11 in. This is where state police, Buffalo Wild Wings and all that are located. And we just made this swap right here with that precinct. Because you used to come in all the way, 3 used to come all the way into here. Now we've got it more and 4. Just a matter of trying to find out which combination of those precincts work the best. Because those demographics have been changing over time. They're getting more and more diverse. They're going into this. I really didn't think I was going to be able to get y'all much above 57%. So this makes me happy from a demographer standpoint, keeping y'all at 60%. Bear with me 1 minute, because I got my percentages on here. 62, 63, yep. I thought they were going to be dropping about 5 points, but it looks like we've been able to well. You want to keep that? Of course, course, nothing's locked in until y'all vote, so.
Yeah.
You want to put the streets back on?
Yeah.
Whatever would you like to see?
So I picked up, sitting in Marshall. Around, I picked that up from District 4, north of, Honolulu.
Yeah, that's precinct 11.
Yeah, I picked that up. And Timmy geared that up and picked up what?
52, 50, this one right here, 51.
Right anywhere you wanna go.
This is the precinct we added to the house, so I'll start with 68.
Go on the rest.
Hey, young kid, wait this one. Before that.
We swapped off 68 and 11. I'm sorry, that's not right. I took it out, put it back in. There we go.
Okay, what did,
That was precinct 68. We put 11 in your district, and then we took 68 and put it in Timmy's district. We swapped 11 and 68 between the two of them. Demographically, they're not the same.
North Danville, St. North San Antonio. So North San Antonio and North Danville. Lose that, or stop that. Right?
What's that?
I lose south and St. Antoine.
Yeah, this is where your existing district is right here, that's my line right here. So actually, you're following your current boundary right here. Till you get to here.
What's
This is where you start changing. This is where we had a lot of the changes right here. We've got, right now, we're at Simcoe, so you don't go any further south than Simcoe. Timmy picks everything up south of Simcoe and University. You know, I used to zigzag all through that area from 2010.
I'm going past Simcoe and St. John.
Correct. Stop, you go from Simcoe to University right here. And this is Moss Street. Clean boundary.
The original, map.
That you currently have or the one that
The one we had before we started, the last year's map, what was the percentage? It was 50,
let's see if I have that on here. Well, I got to pull up the chart. Give me a minute, I'll pull up the chart.
Let me drop that.
The original chart had 56 for District 3, 61 for District 4.
So that was the one last election, 56?
Oh, no, the last election, your original?
Yeah.
For your current districts of the 2020? I thought you meant
No, I got that.
guys, you're 61 for District 3, 64 for District 4.
So we're right back where we were.
But your deviations now are corrected. Both of y'all were in the minus 20% on your deviation, so you had to pick up population. Each had to pick up about 15% population.
So I was at 61 in 2020, I'm at 61 now.
Yes.
And Dr. Shershaw lost 3%.
Just a little bit, yep. But still very viable.
Yeah. I'm taking part of account,
You done? Question? I have a question whenever you're done, that's all I'm asking.
so I took and taking some account. All right, we good.
All right,
Can you show me counts in 43 and 44, please?
43 and 44. Turn these off, let's see the ladder. 43 and 44 is over here by Crossroads area, Bell Heights. That area. Put the streets back on.
That's Gilbo, Johnston, Ambassador, and Congress, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Congress, Ambassador, and Gilbo. Congress up here around. This is Johnson. Here's Gilbo, Ambassador. This is Bell Heights right here, 44.
They have numbers. Can you show me the population?
Sure. On those, 43, 1,453 people. 44 has 1,431, so they're about the same. Together, they represent 2884.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other ideas or suggestions? Since we made some changes on here, particularly with 3 and 4, we'll probably just label this as Plan 2. We did a lot of other experimenting with 9 and 7, but we'll back all those out. Anything else y'all want to see in a Plan 2 version?
I think Justin's looking at,
Mine's clicking on here.
So I.
District 6 would like to see what, precinct 44 looks like in District 5.
44 and 5, let's see what we got. We say 44 and 5, we'll put District 5 at a 2.74, 6 at a -4, the number is balanced. That's what it looks like.
So then we have the ability to take more population into 6 at that point.
Yes.
Should we need to take it from 8, right?
No, absolutely.
Okay. And at -4%, that means,
I don't know why.
if I remember my math correctly, that means 1,300 puts us at 0 and 2,600 puts us at +5%, something like that?
Something like that. I'm not sure why we're getting a sticker on our screen when we do this. All right. Maybe a refresh rate issue. I don't know why it's manifesting itself now. All right.
Are you able to easily determine whether one of the precincts from District 8 that borders District 6
has somewhere between 1,300 and 2,600.
Okay.
Hey, Mark, is the flicker going?
I think it's a refresh rate.
Okay, all right. So the recording is going to have the flicker? Okay, all right.
Right now, I'm showing the growth. While it's doing all that, it's
Okay.
seeing the growth.
Okay.
How many people do you want?
Between 1,300 and 2,600.
One 21 has 1,600 people. '88 has 1,183. And 92, 88 and 92. Let's see where they are. One second. I have an issue here on that.
We can't see anything, so if you found one, I don't know if you did or not.
I'm not sure why you're not coming up on your screen.
Mark,
Yeah.
we can't see anything on the screen.
We have trouble with the unit itself.
Hardware stuff.
Yes, yeah. Bill will
All right. Nobody sneezes.
yeah.
Got it all set, all right.
All right. The bottom number on the precinct numbers or the population numbers?
That's,
How you like that?
I wouldn't ask you 10% of the questions that I asked you today if we had that up the whole time.
I kind of figured I probably needed to do that. All right, you see we got a split precinct up here of 76. That was one of them that she was hoping to keep on Cooley right there. That's why I got split there. That was a desired split. I'm gonna take the roads off for a moment just so you can see the precinct a little better.
I don't need roads in District 6. I know precinct lines. I know precinct lines in District 6. South of 88 and 89, that's the river.
Right here.
The river's right. '78's northern boundary, northeastern boundary is, did you say river? Like that's essentially the horse farm that's in Parish, that's the split part of 75?
Yeah.
Split part of 17, right?
This is you say right here. Horse farm up here. This is actually Cooley that goes through the wood.
Okay, I got it. So we split it on the cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the outfall right here. This is the Cooley Mean outfall.
Okay.
That's this undeveloped area in the park. So this is the boundary of the park right now.
I don't think I have any more.
You want to keep 44 or take it out?
You can put it back to the way it was. I was just wanted to see a demonstration of that.
Sure. That's what the software is for.
If I would come down to Butcher Switch and then come down to Congress.
That's what, this is why.
District 3. All right.
I would come down to Butcher Switch.
Butcher Switch.
And come down to Congress instead of Center.
All right, we need one variable here. Okay, this is Butcher Switch up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now I'm at Glorious.
Well, earlier we had put 11 in here. Remember this was what we had done a little earlier? when I walked in the door, we had this in Timmy's district.
Yeah. So, okay.
And then we had offset with this one right here, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 68. That was in your district. That's what I walked in the door with. And both those numbers are good. That's both we call it 60.
But now I'm at Gloria Switch, right?
That's correct. But Gloria Switch is right here. So you're on Gloria Switch,
Gloria, what
past Lewis Arsenault to 49.
Gloria Switch or Butch's? Yeah. Gloria Switch to the original, you walk in, I was at Gloria Switch.
Yeah, I brought it back to the original right now.
Yeah, the original Butch's Switch.
I brought it back to where I walked in the door with.
Yeah.
180.
So what would happen if you come down to Butch's Switch and come down to Congress?
Well, Congress is way down here. So I got a whole lot of,
So it would,
right now you come in on, see, this is Congress right here.
okay, that would take 49 out.
So where it crosses University,
So 49 would be back there.
49 is back right here. But where you cross University, on Congress Street, that comes into your district. Under Plan 1A.
Understand what it is?
Yes.
So now,
Right now, yeah, what we talked about a little earlier, this would have been in 4, in Timmy's district.
okay,
But when I walked in, this was in your district.
so we took that out and added, Juan de Mucho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's at 60%.
Yeah, both of them, either way, it works out. When it's, this one, when I walked in the door, Plan 4 is at 61 and you were at 60. We can set up, this as Plan 2, and do we have to look at, just so y'all have something to study, which swaps off 68 for 11.
Yeah.
And that gives y'all something to look at, see if you have a preference.
Yeah, I talked to Timmy about it.
If that puts y'all both at 60%.
Yeah. So I talked to Dr. Chashon about it, but for the time being, we keep it at when we walk in the door.
Okay.
When we walk in the door, and then we can discuss it. We'd like to keep the Congress,
All right.
because that's the norm.
All right, so we're going to just back these out then.
Yeah, he would, you know, like to have that in, I didn't have it before. I didn't have it.
Okay. All right, so we're going to keep you then at 180.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to see?
I think that will probably be it, Mr. Hep.
Mr. Boone, do you have anything else? Okay, do you have anything else?
Just thank you for all your hard work. I appreciate it very much.
Thank y'all for looking at different alternatives to this. I appreciate it.
I think what'll happen, Mr. Hep, I don't know if we'll need one more workshop to,
I would have one more since a lot of them couldn't make it.
Right.
Let's have one more.
okay.
Got a group up. See which
Weeks we may want to do, and then I think we're pretty darn close, to be honest with you.
All right, September?
I think September would be a good time. It can be.
When do we need to have the final map voted on?
June of next year.
But it'd be better to get it done then that way people know. Because, I mean, some people have to decide if they're running, if they're not running, what they're doing. You know, you have to give people time. We can't, having it the same night as the meeting puts it early. I don't like late.
Well, one thing we can do is, we can see if any of the others, because they really probably haven't had much time to study what I sent out on, over the weekend. Let them take a look at it. If, as y'all talk among yourselves and what have you, if they have some things they want to see, then we'll set up a separate workshop. If everybody's like,
Right.
kind of like my district, the way it is on the 1A, then I think we can probably have a recap for about half hour, 45 minutes, and then take it from there.
Okay?
The good news is, this is Mr. Ojo's job to figure this out.
Yes, it is Mr. Angel's job. Well, we thank you, sir. We're gonna adjourn this here workshop this evening.
Yes, I gave that to Amanda over the weekend. Y'all should have it. And then what I'll do is I'll make some individual district maps, since it looks like we're really close. And I'll get that over to her.